Prabhat. I am feeling great.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Godlywood Studio and to Light of Knowledge. It has been a long journey of Light of Knowledge, and we have learned a lot. We have understood that knowledge, especially godly knowledge as we say it, is the foundation for a beautiful spiritual lifestyle which can take us to the golden age which is coming. And then we looked into meditation, especially Rajyoga meditation, how it differs from other forms of meditation and what are the various benefits. We saw that there are lots of powers and virtues that we can imbibe in us through the practice of meditation. And now we come to a very important part of a spiritual lifestyle, that is inculcation of virtues, or dharana as it is called. So, what is it we have to inculcate and how we can do it? Come, let us discuss along with Rupa Behenji. Behenji, welcome to the studio, welcome to the
Thank
program.
you.
So, today we are taking up the inculcation of virtues. How far it is important and how can we do that?
Dharana includes some aspects in physical level and some aspects in our subtle level. That is our way of thinking, attitude changes, all these things includes. First of all, a good meditation takes place with the support of the positive lifestyle in physical level first. And that leads to slowly supportive energy to bring changes in our inner self. One dharana, that is some habits that we have to transform. If at all we have any negative habits, if we are aware or not aware, we have formed it. So, for a positive lifestyle, or we say a good meditation lifestyle, or to become a good meditator or to achieve some attainments in a higher level, because meditation also people practice in different levels. For some, just sit in quietness and enjoy that quietness is meditation. For some, to have deeper level of understanding of their self, and for some more people to get contact with that divine is also highest achievement. So, in order to move one step further and go to the final step of the union with God, or final connection, communication, for that we need intellect be very pure, because it's the matter of intellectual relationship. So far we have been trying to connect with God with physical level, and therefore it was giving soothing effect. Maybe it was giving as a devotional feelings, but not a divine connection. And therefore here we have to prepare ourselves first the basic physical habits, so that what I feed to the body and how, with what company I live more time, what environment I am forming and also I am in, these things we have to take care.
You just said that it is a connection of the intellect, but we have been discussing through this series that it is kind of a heart-to-heart conversation. So, is these two different things, when to connect with the intellect or to connect with the heart? Is it the same or is it different?
In Rajyoga meditation, we use our intellect with wisdom, but supported with the feelings of love. And therefore, it is said to be heart to heart conversation. Because only intellectual understanding will not help us to take to meet God or move near to God. Because as much we have the intensity of loveful feelings, so quickly our mind travels near to God. That's why you see intellectual understanding as parent and child relationship, mother and father. Mother is more emotional, father is more intellectual. And something happens to the child, first the feelings comes to mother, because she can sense easily and receive that vibrations or the mind message, which is in the other words we say as a telepathic message. Anything goes wrong with the child, first mother feels something uneasiness. Here mother means embodiment of love, right? In Rajyoga meditation, a beautiful balance of love and also logic.
Hmm.
Both goes together. But it is called intellectual connection because we have to understand properly about the Supreme and then stabilize our intellect, focus our thoughts,
Hmm.
and feelings of love is a supported energy so that I am easily trying to take my mind and touch him through my thoughts. And to do this, our intellect also should be very pure, and feelings of love also should be very pure. When I say feelings of love should be very pure, we were all loving God even before also, but that love was conditioned love, sometime commanding love, sometime demanding love, sometime selfish love. And in Raj Yoga, all these things will not be there. Even if somebody does with this motive to remember or meditate, possibly they also get reward, but little. It's not reaching them to the unlimited attainment. And therefore, to have a good communication with God, which is known as heart to heart conversation, means use your heart, in the sense use full love, and he gives the response. Because always we love God, along with that we love many things also. But here totality is very much important, and therefore in path of bhakti or devotion also, anything we offer to God is not shared by others. It will be given full. Simply after worshipping or doing all rituals, that can be shared to everybody or given as a prasadam. But before that, whatever we cook, whatever we offer, it should be given only to one God first. Similarly, when we give heart to God also, when we show love to God also, it should be fully given in order to give full response. And that's very basic need. And supportive things in physical level, we have to keep ourselves more and more in good company, and every day we have to listen to the godly knowledge. That is also company of God. God's spoken versions, when we listen, we are spending valuable time with the company of God. See, in Laukik world also, whom we love, we listen to them more. Right? Here also, if we love really God, we like to listen Him. In the sense, whatever the knowledge He is giving, we try to listen more, and that itself gives an energy to apply in our life.
But to listen to the knowledge every day, Benji, I think we need to develop that kind of interest also, because everyone is asking for short-term courses or crash courses, because nobody wanted to continue for long. And when we say that godly knowledge should be listened to every day, maybe some kind of
See, a person who loves somebody, how much love he has, so much he will be liking to be with him. Is it not? Similarly, if my love is constant with God and He becomes my company and companion and good friend and guide, father, mother, and preceptor, and Satguru, and a teacher, then is there any limitation that I can spend only this much time with him? I don't think so. It will be a joy to be with him, to communicate with him, to listen to him, to read versions, and it's an ongoing process. And there always there is a reward coming to me. As much you are moving closer to him, so much reward is coming, and therefore there is no limitation of time that I will break to spend this much time like that.
Benji, I think one will have to experience it for themselves to see that how far this godly knowledge is helping them, so that they can decide it for themselves whether I should listen to it every day or once in a week or
In the
whatever.
beginning, let them listen at least once in a day, because see, a person without reward, he don't give much valuable time. So everybody, let us have a practice or a habit of listening at least 1 hour in a day. And second important thing, let him develop having a habit of taking sattvic food, pure food, vegetarian food. Why? Because this helps us to keep our intellect very pure and uninfluenced with negative vibrations. And the pure food what we give, that pure substance goes and helps in the brain to generate pure thoughts. And let him have a good company, and let him be away from the vicious cycle of lust, anger, greed, attachment and ego and so on. This also creating a very good foundation for good meditation. And divine virtues, of course, in our day-to-day life we come across with many people, many situations. Like we get sometimes losing temper, we get irritated, somebody's rash, harsh words or hard behavior may create pain in our mind, or we may become victim of their negativity. At that time, let us practice only divine virtues as a tools or a instruments to overcome such situation. Let us not become victim of negative cycle and negative qualities which we use to face that, like getting angry or fighting with them, creating quarrel and creating conflict. In result, what happens, we will also be affected negatively. And again, when we sit in meditation, first we have to clear this negativity first, and then generate positive thoughts, and then communicate with God, which is more time we are wasting. And therefore, a good meditation takes place with a good meditator with less time if we have this strong base. Keep away from vicious cycle, vicious qualities, and support with pure food, and spend little time to listen to godly versions and apply divine virtues like sweetness, keeping yourself always cheerful, serenity, and being matured, and having loveful attitude, always give good wishes. These are all things we can just every day we can practice.
You are actually giving us tons of materials for us to follow in this divine path. And I think viewers who are watching this at this moment can try this out for a while and see it for themselves how far it is going to take them forward. Because to coming into godly knowledge and adopting a spiritual lifestyle, people sometimes hesitate whether it is good for me or not. At least for an experiment sake, they can take it.
In the beginning, let them do as much they can. So let them not force themselves to do at a stretch everything. It will not work longer. So let them take whatever is possible, let them do how much they can, and try to have the experience of joy and union with God even for a short while. And that will take them one step ahead, because sometimes we see people rushing at a stretch and diving into the depth and unable to cope up with the immediate clash with the old habits and new habits formation, and finally they revert back to their original, and that is again is a loss for them. So I would just give a beautiful thought, let them go step by step, steadily and little bit slow, and once they get that energy, they know how to take care of themselves, then they can run. And that is the way to reach the goal of total perfection.
And I think especially you are providing that material for everyone. Every aspirant can come into the centers, and it is also free of cost. You just need to spend 1 hour, that's all. And I think this can be experimented by everyone, and the result can be seen for themselves. So Benji, thanks a lot for sharing so much for today. There are still many questions coming to mind, and I think we will discuss that in the further episodes. So, friends, that has been a wonderful discussion as usual. We have come to the third part of the Rajyogic lifestyle, that is the inculcation of divine virtues. And we have got a lot of material, but let us go step by step as she advised. And if we go step by step, making small changes as and when it comes, but let us be very careful as to continue with the change we are making. If we make a great leap and later if we are not able to continue, that doesn't give us that kind of a change or transformation. So let us be very careful about our progress. Take it in a way of experiment. Let us do this as an experiment for a while and see the result for ourselves. So now it is time for us to go to the next part of our session, that is the question of the day. Benji, we have again a question through email. I am Divyanshu from Hajipur, Bihar. I am a student preparing for medical entrance exam. My question is, when someone asks something immorally from me, it deeply affects me. Is this his problem or my problem? So Benji, he hasn't told what his problem is actually. He has just mentioned that someone asked something immorally. I think some people doesn't have the power to say no when someone is asking anything negative. So how can we find that courage?
See, first of all, we have to understand what they want actually.
Hmm.
If it is understood it is immoral, where I have to stand?
Hmm.
I have to have the decision power, and also accepting or non acceptance is my choice.
Hmm.
Since they are asking immoral wants or demands, I need not become a victim of others.
Hmm.
That creates more immorality in them. And therefore, according to the law of karma also, if I support a person who has got immoral desire,
Hmm.
immoral needs and immoral way of demanding, that means I am already supporting the immorality.
Hmm.
And the result will be, of course, both loss both ways to both of them.
Hmm.
So it itself gives the answer that in order to make even that person who is immoral to bring a good change towards morality, I need to stand in a position of rejecting,
Hmm.
non acceptance. Maybe the consequences that I may be having the fear of losing that person
Hmm.
or breaking up relation or non cooperation, this dire consequence has to be undergone.
Hmm.
But this is little painful, but damage with the immorality is lifetime damaging, lifetime loss.
Which even after being aware of this fact, I think this is such a big problem nowadays because we discussed in one episode that students and youngsters are actually very low in their self-esteem. And I have heard girls making the same complaint because they don't have the courage to say no. And sometimes it is so disappointing that even family members and relatives mostly try to take the negative advantage. So we need to practice the power of yoga more, as you said.
See, without having the inner power, nobody can stand on the base of morality.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't know what is moral qualities? Everybody is aware.
Mm-hmm.
Even a person who is following the immoral path is aware properly that he is doing something immoral and this is against of moral and for which he has to pay for it. He is well aware. What is wrong with him to choose that path? Because he is not having the inner power.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, we need to fill our inner self with the determination power. And how that comes? When I get connected to the Supreme, I constantly allow His energy to enter my soul. I stand like a lion in front of immorality.
Benj, I think this can be applied to the same problem which youth is facing. They want to leave their negative habit of smoking or drinking or whatever, but they are unable to do so because they lack the power, even though they have the
Many
knowledge.
times I have heard people when they say, we don't want sister, but because of company, we cannot avoid friends, we will just go together and somehow we have to share. This is absolutely, one is escapism, another one is putting blame on others, and another way is we show our weakness.
Or finding excuses.
Absolutely excuse, but it is a weakness inside that I am not able to control myself. I am choosing wrong path because of others and putting again blame on others. Because of my friends, I am going to become a drinker. Because of friends, I am going to smoke. Because of friends, I am going to do some wrong deeds. Okay, accepted. Then the dire consequence when it comes, who is going to experience or take the reward? At that time also you put the blame on others, they will not come and stand to your way. Then the loser will be me.
Mm.
And therefore what happens, People who are going to do such kind of activities because of the people, those who are forming the bad habits because of the company of so and so, maybe friends or relatives, such excuses who give, and finally they lose everything, and the end result is they end up with depression and frustration. And that depression and frustration again they create on the innocent beings of their family members. See, such a great damage. And therefore, I think any kind of immoral wants, desires, demands, let it come from anybody, we need not support that. For that, let us have the inner power of stability and love to do moral things.
Benji, you have explained in one of the previous episodes that when one inculcate all the divine virtues and powers and start spread such vibrations, the other person will not even dare to ask anything immoral. I think that is where we need to look into, because that is such a powerful stage, and thanks for that answer. So dear friends, that was very clear. There are no shortcut solutions. We need to be so powerful, and to become powerful we need not search anywhere outside, because we are so powerful. We have that power and virtues inside, and a little bit of practice every day is all we need to awaken that power, to bring it to the surface so that we can use it anytime we want. So now it is time for us to go to the last session of today, that is attitude, virtue and contemplation. So Benji, what is today's attitude and today's virtue?
Today, let us take the attitude of teaching what we know without any hesitation. Teaching what we have is also sometimes a very good attitude, because we are creating more people with wisdom. The knowledge, the art, the ability what I have, let it pass to others. This should be a genuine thought. Usually people hold this thought. Whatever I know, if somebody knows, then I will be missing something, and they become more progressive. This fear, actually giving is progressing. Once we give something, they let them get progress in their life. The one who lets them to progress, definitely he will progress
Even more.
even more. Therefore, this secret has to be understood well. When we understand this, then whatever we have, we will give without reservations. To support this, the virtue, let us take as willpower. Where there is will, there is a way, and will to do is a very good motivation power, and will to teach, will to give help, will to support. So the willpower is two ways we understand this will. Will is one, stability with more power to do, and will is my desire. So I like to have, I will, I wish to give. So this attitude is very important when we are teaching knowledge. And as we understood in many episodes, people who are poor or problematic, facing many situations, or they are unaware of the cause and the reasons why they are put in that situation, and little bit of throwing light, giving little godly knowledge to them can take them towards a part of solution. And that's how making each and every one become more and more successful. And knowingly, unknowingly, people are getting into the wrong traps and doing wrong deeds. Let us save them and let us help them to move them towards the new light.
So Benji, that was really beautiful, and I have read somewhere that to teach others is the best way to learn for ourselves. And when we start teaching everyone, I think that will be such a spreading of beautiful energy everywhere. And definitely that is one of the ways where we can make a change in the world. Thanks a lot for that. And today, can we have a reflection on these thoughts?
Sit in a comfortable position. Visualize yourself as a point of divine light. being the child of Supreme, the one who is ocean of knowledge, the one who is the giver of wisdom, the best guide and teacher in my life. I am so happy to know the secret that God, being the supreme teacher, He practically comes to this world to impart His divine knowledge to each and every soul so that we can become more and more perfect. He Himself plays the role of supreme teacher, and I am being the student, a spiritual student who is most luckiest in the world. I feel great about myself. The Supreme Teacher has chosen me as his student. Hence, I become a godly student to listen to godly knowledge. Through this, the reward I receive is He makes me God and goddesses. This is the highest knowledge in the world that I receive from God Himself. I determine myself to be an obedient student, a good student who can learn. I determine myself to be an obedient student, a good student who can fulfill the aspirations of my spiritual father as well as myself, and that gives me a deeper level of contentment. He makes me knowledgeful by imparting divine knowledge. He makes me powerful through teaching the method of meditation. He also makes me essential by adorning me with so many divine qualities. He also makes me successful by using me or giving me an opportunity to do the service of humanity. It's a great feeling in myself being the godly student learning godly knowledge. Together with these feelings of happiness, I now start teaching this knowledge to each and everyone, to whomever I meet, because it is their birthright that every soul has right to know and study the godly knowledge. I become the instrument to impart this is a great honor to me. Om Shanti.
Vijay, thanks a lot as usual. The meditation you are taking us through every day is such a beautiful experience that we all will try to continue this for long. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, friends, that was really again a wonderful experience, I hope, for all of you. Our hobbies and interests in life may vary from person to person, but if we can make Raj Yoga meditation one of our interest, common interest in life, definitely it is going to be beneficial. It is going to be the foundation for a beautiful life to come. And once we make our life beautiful and golden, we are paving way for a golden age. Let us not forget that most important thing, the world is changing and it is changing for the better, and I, as a person, as an individual, can become a building block, a strong building block for that coming golden age. So, thanks a lot for watching today. And any queries, any suggestions, as usual, please feel free to share it with us. And until we meet again in the next episode, it's a goodbye from all of us.